In progress.
Hi, McKenna. I'm Chelsea, and I will be your counselor today. I'm actually a counselor in training, but I just wanted, before we get started, to go over the informed consent with you. I sent you a copy of it earlier in the week. Did you have a chance to go over it?
I did. I reviewed it. I'm pretty sure I sent it back to you, and signed it.
Okay, I'll have to double check. I just wanted to touch on a few things, and then if we need to, we can go back over it later.
Okay.
Um, The purpose of counseling is for us to work together in a therapeutic relationship to help you to find solutions to your problems. Um, and then, of course, in the long term, we would, the ideal is to, uh, you, for you to be able to manage those everyday stressors on your own. Uh, I want to be able to provide a safe and inviting environment that you feel like that you can freely share with me. All of the things that you share with me, of course, will be confidential and be kept between us. There are a few times that I would have to break confidentiality, and that would be if you mentioned that you were going to harm yourself or someone else. Also, if there is any suspicion of child or elder abuse, or if I receive a court order.
Okay.
If it, if any time those things are brought up, then we can discuss the process. But other than that, I will not be sharing any of your information. And then our the the counseling techniques will vary depending on the issue that's presented, but we would a lot of times it will be open-ended questions just so that I can gain a better understanding of, your situation and what's going on. Um, but that is about it. Do you have any questions?
No, I think I understand kind of what to expect. I've been through counseling before, so I have an understanding of what the guidelines are and the risk.
Okay. If you have any other questions later, if you think on it and you have any questions, feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to better explain things. Um, what, first off, what brought you in today?
Um, I am coming because I have a lot of stress. Um, I just recently moved in with my boyfriend. I work a full-time job and I also am a full-time student. So those are all kind of running into each other and I'm feeling very overwhelmed. And like I don't have a lot of time for myself. And when I do have time, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit around and like I just don't want to do anything. Like after work, really bad. And then during work, I feel stressed all the time because my boss kind of is passive aggressive. So there's just all of that going on.
Yeah. Well, what do you do what is your job currently?
I'm a leasing consultant at an apartment community.
Okay. Yeah, that would be very stressful with all
Yeah.
those residents.
Mhm.
Um, so you said that you just recently moved in with your boyfriend. How
Mhm.
is that going?
Um, I actually really enjoy it. It's just different.
Right.
Kind of learning our habits and
Right.
what both of our routines are like. Um, but it's going well. I just don't ever want to disappoint him in any way with like not doing enough or if I'm sitting on the couch when I could be doing more. that's kind of in the back of my head a little bit.
Do you feel like that, do you feel like, um, do you feel like, how does it make you feel when you, do you feel like that, do you feel guilty maybe for taking that time to sit and relax? You feel like you need to be up doing something?
I do feel guilty when I sit around and I kind of do nothing. I understand that I need that time. Um,
Right.
but there is that underwhelming, like that underlying feeling of guilt. Like, oh, if I didn't sit down for 30 minutes, I could have washed the pans that are in the sink. I could have unloaded the dishwasher. I could have been working on school. So there is those thoughts.
Yeah, I can understand that. I can get kind of get that way myself.
Mhm.
Um, but of course, um, so what do you like to do? What are like the self-care kind of things that you do for yourself, or do you currently do anything to
Um,
help you feel better?
I do. So I like to play Animal Crossing on my Nintendo Switch. And it's actually it's how I spend time with my boyfriend is we sit together and like he'll watch me play or I'll watch him play. And I also really like to watch like reality TV and just do that. I also love to color. So I'll pull out coloring books or maybe I'll build a Lego or something. So I do take the time to do that sometimes, not all the time.
Just not all the time. So maybe to kind of carve out time during your day to dedicate it to maybe self-care
Mhm.
would help you feel better, you think?
Yeah, potentially. Maybe if instead of just sitting on the couch and doing nothing, maybe if I was actively doing like a self-care activity, I would feel more accomplished because I am taking care of myself. It's definitely
Yeah.
something that I could work on.
Yeah, maybe you could maybe while you're coloring or building, a Lego set, you could, watch your reality television or something.
Mhm.
Um, so is it a time management issue
I do
or
struggle.
just
Yeah, I struggle with time management. So I work kind of to give you kind of, I guess, an insight into my day. um, I try my best to wake up at 8 a.m. every day, and then I start work at 9. I am kind of bad about pressing the snooze button, and my boyfriend's really bad about pressing the snooze button. We try our best to hold each other accountable, but it doesn't always work on us being accountability partners. And sometimes I think it's because we stay up too late. So, like, we have talked to each other about waking up every day at 8 and being in bed by 11:30 and then falling asleep by midnight. Like, that is ultimately the goal we've kind of set with each other. But it's hard when um I work from 9 to 5 every day. Sometimes I plan community events. So sometimes like randomly throughout the month, maybe I'll be at work from 9 to 8 or 9 to 10. Um, so it gets hard because then I come home typically around I live where I work, so I my commute's like 3 minutes. So I get home around 5:03. If I leave work right at 5. And I take my shoes off, take my coat off, and then I'm like, oh, the couch is right there. So I'm like,
yeah.
oh, Kenny, you've already worked 8 hours today. So I sit on the couch and I turn the TV on, and then I will sit there for an hour. And I'm like, this is me I work, so I can take this time for myself. But realistically, like I said, I feel that guilt because I'm sitting there for that hour. Oh, well, there's dishes in the sink. So if I would have just walked over instead of sitting on the couch, I could have done the dishes before sitting on the couch. Then, when we're preparing dinner around 6:30, we don't have to worry about the dishes in the sink because I would have already done it. And there,
Right.
I do have a little bit of a fear that he's going to think that I'm not doing enough in the apartment and he's doing everything. And I don't want that to happen either.
Have you talked about that with him? Like, you know, asked him if he feels like there's more stuff that you do you like if you are splitting the responsibilities evenly, I guess is what I'm asking.
I probably could talk to him about that. Um, I think and this is probably on me. He doesn't work as much as I do. So I've just kind of assumed, like, because I'm working from 9 to 5 every day and he's home more, like, he can just
Right.
do that stuff. So I definitely could communicate with him better about it.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be good just so that there's, or even you could have like a chart maybe,
Mhm.
of, things that each of you do just so that there's no, oh, well, maybe this person's going to do it, but then it doesn't get done. Just to make sure that things get done, but then there's also some accountability there
Mhm.
too.
So, like a chore chart.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Um, but um, and then you said that um, do you said that whenever you first get off work, that you like to sit on the couch for a little bit and relax, which
Mhm.
is great. I think that especially after you work all day long and dealing with so many people, you kind of want to take that time for yourself to just chill for a minute.
Yeah.
And that's completely understandable. I'm the same way. I think that it's important that you do that just so that you can kind of decompress from the stress that you deal with on a daily basis.
Mhm.
But maybe you could take, instead of an hour, you could take 30 minutes and, relax and watch a little bit of TV and then use the other 30 minutes to get the dishes caught up real quick so that you guys can, make your dinner and not have to worry about the dirty dishes.
Yeah, yeah, time it out better.
Yeah.
Work on that. Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would definitely help. Um, do so um so we talked about discussing with your boyfriend um kind of what each of you expect out of each other so you have a better understanding and you don't feel the guilt of, maybe you're not doing enough. Um, and then also to set up like kind of a chore chart just so that both of you are held accountable for certain things so there's no confusion or, you feel like that it's all put on you.
Mhm.
And then taking that time after work to maybe get a few things done, um, so that even taking the time, of course, to decompress prior, after you get done working, and
Mhm.
then try to get some stuff done before dinner.
Mhm.
Um, does that sound like a good start?
It does. Yeah. So I can definitely sit down with him and make a chore chart. I think it would hold me more accountable too, and give me more structure. Um, to structure, I kind of like structure, so I like that you brought that up. Um, because I can come home for that 30 minutes, decompress, and then look at the tour chart and see what I need to do. Um,
Yeah.
so it helps me kind of with that struggle of time management, time managing, um, which is something I'm working on, with my being in school and then also working and, being a girlfriend. It can be a lot sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Um, when when do you fit your schoolwork into your day? Because I know you said you went to bed around 11:30.
To be honest with you, I kind of work on it while I'm at work sometimes.
Yeah.
My boss is pretty cool for the most part. Sometimes he gets a little passive aggressive and he doesn't communicate with us how he should, and it stresses me out. And he knows that I work on school while I'm at work, and he like is fine with it, and he knows that I'm in a graduate program. So I'll sit down and like I'll have it open during work to kind of get an idea of what I have going on for the week. And sometimes, like if I have readings, I'll sit and I'll read. It's hard though managing both of them because if I'm in the middle of doing something for school, obviously I'm at work, so my job is priority. So
Right.
I get interrupted a lot. Or if a resident comes in, I get interrupted a lot. Um, so then I'll kind of lose what I was working on. But so I do it while I'm at work sometimes. And then I come home and I do that little decompressing. We cook dinner, and then after dinner, I will be like, oh, I need to go like sit at my desk and I need to do some schoolwork. And it just depends on like the workload. Sometimes I'll sit for an hour, or I'll sit for an hour and a half. Like we try to eat around 6:30, 7, and then we're done by 8. So I have like if we're done by 8, I have a good 2.5, you know, hours, 3 hours to do schoolwork. And I do try to manage and break it up. So, like, say I have a 3-page paper, maybe I'll write a page a day so it doesn't feel so overwhelming. It's just sometimes, like, I get in my head, I'm like, well, McKenna, you already wrote a page. So, like, you can skip it today because you already wrote a page. Like, that that happens.
Yeah. That's, it sounds like that you're, managing your time pretty well and you've kind of, mapped out your days. Our next session, um, so between now and our next session, um, you you can try to implement the things that we talked about. And if you feel comfortable, you could just jot down, how things are going so that when we meet again, we can kind of see how um, we can adjust it if we need to, or if things are going great, then we can leave it and see, how it works, going forward. But I, um, is there any questions or concerns that you have?
Yeah, so not concerns, just like what the specific plan is. So I know we talked,
Oh, yeah.
so adding in the chore chart and then talking to
Hmm.
my boyfriend essentially is like the plan.
Yeah, to the chore chart and then talking to your boyfriend and then um taking that time after work um
Mhm.
and splitting that up between, first decompressing from your work day and then, you know, looking at the chore chart to see what you need to do before you guys prep dinner and get ready for your evening. So that way that your evenings aren't as stressful and you don't have that guilt feeling of not being able to do enough. And also, we talked about um, too, maybe while you're watching your show, you could maybe do, color or do
Mhm.
something like that, some kind of self-care to help you feel better too.
Okay.
Does that
Yeah.
sound good?
Yeah, it definitely does. I will. That makes me excited. Maybe I'll like make a little digital like cute thing of a chore chart and put it on the fridge.
Yeah.
So I
If
that's
it's
exciting.
fun,
Yeah.
if it's fun, I feel like we tend to stick with it a little better.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that idea. Thank you for I because that's not anything I would have ever thought of for myself.
Well, I'm glad I could help.
Mhm.
Um, well, I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for
Nice meeting you.
you too. Thanks for the session.
Bye.